Hi, I'm Kirk Evans, president of U.S. LawShield, here with a quick update on a brand new law impacting licensed firearms dealers in the state of New Jersey. So, as many of you have heard, the old law, which was that you cannot knowingly sell a firearm to a prohibited person, the new law is that you can get in trouble if you knowingly or reasonably should have known the person was not allowed to have or possess firearms in New Jersey. So to me, there's three aspects of this that you need to think about if you're a licensed dealer. So the first is if you, the dealer, or your employee have a personal relationship or even a casual relationship with the purchaser, that's where you need to look out, right? What if you know some old story about they had a restraining order and a divorce, or they bounced a bunch of checks when they were in college and the court tried to charge them with the felony. You have some story in your head that really isn't clear. At that point, you really, really need to give some serious thought about selling that person a firearm, even though they may pass the background check and the NICS check. That's number one. Number two is there are folks out there who will actually say something at the counter that might indicate they're a prohibited person, right? They might say, hey, I've got this old conviction of stalking when I was 16 or, something like that. And in the old days, folks might just say, well, let's just run it through and see if it comes up on the background check. Probably can't do that anymore. If they say something right there at the counter that is disqualifying, that a reasonable person of reasonable prudence and competence should know is disqualifying, you probably got to stop right there under this new law. Then number three is the next thing to look out for that's going to be just a big danger for firearms dealers is social media, right? So if you are quote unquote friends with someone on Facebook and they posted something like, hey, finally got off parole, and that's a disqualifying offense, or, gosh forbid you clicked like on that post, you now know or reasonably should know that person has some type of disqualifying offense. So social media is a very, very disconcerting part of this new law, particularly if the person runs out and commits a serious, serious crime with that weapon. The folks are going to come looking for who sold them that weapon and try to find any way they can, not that you knew, but that you reasonably should have known that this was a prohibited person. And believe me, law enforcement is going to use social media. There are lots of ins and outs to this. This is going to be the subject of many court decisions and appeals and things like that, no doubt. So wait for future developments, obviously. If you have any questions about this at all and you are affiliated with U.S. LawShield and are part of our FFL Dealer Shield program, you are allowed to call in to your concierge care team at U.S. LawShield, and they can put you in touch with an FFL Dealer Shield independent program attorney who can help answer any questions you might have on this subject. Thank you.